In this video, I will be showing you how to construct a soot vent. A soot vent is a vertical slit that extends upward from the bottom hem on the back side of a suit jacket. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time of watching my video, this is Regi School of Fashion. Basically, there are three types of soot vents, which are a single soot vent, a double soot vent, and a ventless soot. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will be focusing on the construction of a double-sided soot vent. And of course, this method can be applied on a single vent as well. Lest I forget guys, watching ads on my videos is one of the ways you can encourage me in releasing more premium content on this channel. Please don't skip those ads, because that is the only way I get rewarded here on YouTube. Also, consider subscribing to my channel for regular notifications, and also give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube algorithm can recommend it to more people who are in need of it. With that being said, let's get started. In today's episode of our blazer jacket series, we shall continue from where we stopped in the last episode, which is how to construct a shock collar. So this is what we did in the last episode. So if you are yet to watch that episode and every other episodes of our blazer jacket series, kindly check the description area below for the link to the videos. Don't forget, this jacket is a double-sided vent, which means we'll be having our vent on both sides. So guys, now I have the center back opened. As you can see, this is what I have after opening. So this is for the fabric and this is for the lining. I opened this up purposely because of easy construction of the vent area. So now that I have the center back opened, the next step is to iron in my vent allowance. The vent allowance I'm working with is 2.5 inches. So after marking this on the right side, then I'll fold it inward like so, and I'll give it a press. Also on the second panel, I will fold it inward and give it a press. So when I'm done with the center back, then I'll go to the side piece. Don't forget, this is a sided vent. The vents are going to fall on both sides of the jacket. Okay, so these and these are going together, one of the center back and one of the side piece. Here is a side piece which has been joined together with the front panel. You can see what I have. So this is the side piece. So this is going together with this. Okay, so I will fold this also. I'm folding this as well with 2.5 inches of the hem allowance, and I will give it a press on this side, then on the second panel. So I'll fold this inward as well with 2.5 inches hem allowance, and I will give it a press, after which I will take this back to show you the next step. So guys, now I have this ironed. As you can see, this is what I have after folding in my hem allowance. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. So now the next step is to join the sides together. So in joining the sides together, this is going to be the right side facing the right side. So I will turn my jacket to the wrong side, because I will be joining right side facing the right side. Can you see what I have? And I will separate the lining from the main fabric. So it's going to be fabric to fabric and lining to lining. So guys, this is one side of the front panel. You can see for the front panel, I have the side panel attached to the front panel, and this is the back panel. This is the center back I open up. Then I will place one piece of the back panel on the side panel, right side facing the right side. You can see the shape I have on both panels are the same. I iron this inward, I iron this inward as well. So I'll open it up. Then I will be stitching from the armhole point. like so. So I will hold the two pieces together with my sewing pins. So guys, now that I have the two pieces pinned together, then I will be stitching with 1/2 inch seam allowance from the armhole point here. Then I will stitch downwards up to this point. So this is the vent point. So when I get to this point, then I will cross it like so. So I'll follow the shape I have, stitch downward to this side, then also I'll cross it, and I will leave 1/2 inch at the edges of the fabric like so. From this edge, I will measure 1/2 inch forward, and I will stop on the 1/2 inch point. So this 1/2 inch is a seam allowance, so I will not stitch up to this edge. So when I'm done with this, then I'll go to the other side as well. I will pick one of the front panel, I will place it on the side panel. So this is the second side panel, and this is the second back panel. So I'll place the two like so, armhole point to armhole point, the vent point to vent point, right side facing each other. I'll pin them together, then stitch with 1/2 inch seam allowance. I will make sure the vent points are aligned properly. So now I'm stitching with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So when I get to the vent point, I will turn my fabric like so, then continue stitching, and I will stop on the 1/2 inch point. So guys, now I have the two sides stitched together. This is one side and this is the other side. Okay, so the next step is to place a notch at this point. This is the vent point. So I will cut this all through, but I will not let it get to the same point. I will open this as much as I can. Can you see what I have? And I will repeat the same process on the other side. So after placing the notches, the next step is to turn my jacket to the right side. This is the side I stitched. So after stitching, you must have your armhole like so. Can you see what I have? So here is a armhole. So here is a armhole, and this is the side I stitched. Then I will have the vent area like so. So now I will be arranging my vents like so. This is the side piece and this is the back piece. The back piece will overlap the side piece, so the side piece will be under while this will overlap. So I'll fold in the hem allowance this way, and this will be folded over. So I will take this to my ironing board and I will give it a good press, and I will also open up the seam allowance. So I will give this a press. I will open it up like so. Then the remaining part of the seam allowance also I will open it up as well. You can see. So I'll be doing this and I'll be back to show you the next step. So guys, now I have the vent area ironed. So this is what I have after ironing. So the side piece is under while the back piece is at the top. You can see I folded in the vent allowance. I gave it a press and I have it like so. So the next step is to apply the same method on the lining side. So on the lining side, I will pick the side piece and the back piece. So this is going to be on each other and I will stitch. But this is going to be a little bit different from the way I stitch on the fabric. So guys, now I have the two sides pinned together, the center piece and the back piece. So this is for the lining side. Now I will be stitching from the armhole point with 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I will stop on the vent length. This is the vent length point, and I will extend it downward by 1/2 inch again, and I will stop on the 1/2 inch point. So in this case, I'm not taking this all through to this side. Okay, so I would stitch from the armhole point downward. When I get to the vent point, I will take it down by 1/2 inch, and I will stop on the 1/2 inch point, and I will be doing the same thing on the other side. So now I'm stitching the other side of the lining. So guys, now I have my vent area arranged properly, and I gave it a good press. Okay, this is a back piece and this is the center piece. So the back piece is on the center piece, and I repeated the same process for the lining side. Here is a back piece and this is the center piece. You can see what I have. So the center piece is underneath while the back piece overlap on it like so. So the next step is to work on the lining. So in working on the lining side, I will flip this to the wrong side. So this is the back piece for the lining. So with the shape I have here, I will trace it out with my pen. So I will trace it out like so. Make sure you are calm when you are doing this. And I'll stop here. Can you see what I have? So after tracing it out, then I will open up the vent allowance. Then I will draw out the line clearly. And for this side as well. Okay, so now that I have this drawn out, then I will measure 1/2 inch inward. So the 1/2 inch is going to serve as a seam allowance. So I will measure 1/2 inch following the shape I have on the lining. Okay, now that I have this done, then it is time to trim off the excess. So now I will be cutting on the seam allowance line, which is the 1/2 inch I measured inward. Then I'll cut this off completely. So this is going off. Okay, now I have it trimmed off. This is what I have after trimming it off. Now that I have this cut out, then I will be repeating the same process for the other side. So don't forget, we have every pieces in double. So this is the second piece for the center back. So I will repeat the same process and I will trim off the excess.